A tread. Next thing you got to do is you got to add a logo. And to add a logo, I'm going to ask you a tread. Next thing you got to do is you got to add a logo. And to add a logo, I'm going to ask you to sketch on the tread again, the bottom of one of your treads. Make sure you click the bottom of one of your treads and not the sole, because then you're going to be in a world of craziness. And we don't want that. And then think about what your logo is going to look like. You might use the line tool, rectangle tool, circle tool, I don't know, whatever. And what you're going to do is, without clicking on anything that turns yellow, right? We don't want to add any crazy dimensions. You don't want any of this. You notice how the geometric constraint there shows up. I don't know if that's perpendicular or coincident, one of those, but we don't want that, okay? We want to keep it away from all that. We just want to kind of have a nice little rectangle. So I'm going to use to put inside my logo. And we want to dimension it. Now, the dimension popped up, but you can also use the dimension tool here or the letter D. And how wide do I want that to be? Well, let's think about this. As my shoe gets bigger and smaller, I would like that to adjust with the width. So I might want to use #W, right? But the width, that would be kind of crazy if I use the width and it goes outside of the shoe, because, the width is like down here somewhere, right? It's like, oh, I think maybe it's right there is the width from there to there. And so if I use that value, well, it might go outside of the shoe up here, right? So you might use the width -1, but that might not quite look right. I don't know. Width -1, I don't know, width divided by 2. Whatever it is that you decide you want to use, go ahead and use that there. I used like a crazy thing in a video I did a moment ago that didn't work. I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to just say the width -2 inches. Now, if you don't type that inches in, it's probably not going to like it. All right. So in this case, width -2 inches makes it 1.563. That's a really ugly dimension. I apologize for it. Do the same thing with the length. So add that in there. And I might take that length, I don't know, #L, and divide it by, good Lord, who knows? I don't know, 8. Let's see what that looks like. It looks kind of big. Let's divide it by a bigger number. What do you say? 10. All right, that's pretty good. So that's my logo, but I need the location of it, right? I need to make sure that it's dimensioned a certain distance away. So I'm going to use the dimension from here to here, right? And I want to call that, I don't know, #W. And then minus parentheses, #W. What was this one up here? -2, something like that. Close parentheses. And then the width minus the box there. And then that whole thing divided by 2. So I'm going to put both of those in parentheses. And I'll go ahead and divide by 2. Right? And hopefully that will put it somewhere in the middle. All right. Now, 2 -2 inches, Segrist. That puts it over 1 inch. That's way too far over, isn't it? From there, because then that wouldn't be an inch. Why did that happen? Let's see. I did the width, the whole width, minus this, right? Minus that. And then that thing divided by 2. So it should be an inch from there to there. I don't think that's an inch. Not when this is an inch. So where did I go wrong? I don't know. The width minus 2 inches. Whatever's left over from that should be divided by 2. It seems correct to me. I'm not sure where I went wrong. Anyway, hopefully you get the idea of what I wanted to do there, and you can figure it out for yourself what that dimension should be. But you want one that adjusts based on you adjusting the size of that shoe, okay? And you need a similar dimension for the height. So I'm going to use that dot to there, dimension it from there to there. And I might just say I want it to always be, I don't know, 1.75 inches down. And maybe that's good enough. I don't know. It's up to you. You figure it out for you. Okay. Maybe you use it based on the length somehow, so it's always kind of proportional to everything else. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. I'm going to extrude, remove that rectangle, right? The outline of it, and I want to do it 0.1. I'm going straight down 0.1, merge with all, boom. Now I got a nice little box there. That's where I'm going to sketch, and I'm going to put in my logo. I don't know what my logo would be, but before I do that, did I get rid of my sketch? Yes, I did. New sketch on there. I'm going to go back to that use tool we did before, and I want to make sure I use the outline of that rectangle because I need to dimension things to that, right, for my logo. So if I put a circle in for my logo, I need to dimension the size of that, right? And it might have something to do with the width, right? So if I wanted to be 0.3, well, then I might say, okay, the width is 3.563. So I might say 3.563 divided by 3, right, is 1.876, right? So we might just call it 1.2. Let's go with that. So I'm going to just say the width, hashtag W divided by 1.2, right? Ooh, whoa. That got a little wild and crazy, didn't it? The width divided by 1.2. That's really big, isn't it? I think that I got that wrong. Divided by 3. Oh, I want to divide it by 0.3, didn't I? So 3.563 divided by 0.3. Oh, that's a much different answer. 11.9. So I actually wanted that to be divided by 11.9. Let's just go ahead and call it 12. Hashtag W divided by 12. That's a little easier. Now there we go. All right. I also would want to have that dimension of the location of it. So I'll click dimension again. How far from the top should it be? Right. And how far from the side should it be? Right. And the one from the side should have something to do with the width. Again, 0.2. I don't know. You might say hashtag W divided by 0.2. How would I get 0.2 from 3.56? I don't know, 16, right? Okay, and same for the height. Hashtag, in this case, L, because it's a length dimension, and divided by, I would want it to be divided by, I don't know, 30. Okay, so I got 0.3. Now, the nice thing is with those two dimensions, the location of that is going to change when the length changes and when the width changes, but relative to this box, it would be the same place, right? Which is really nice. Okay. So that's obviously not your logo, but you would make your logo and you would include all kinds of dimensions for the location of the logo and the size of the logo. And then you'll extrude it. And so I just want to extrude that nice little box there. I want it to come out 0.1. The same distance that we did. I want to merge it with all. And there you go. There's my logo. It's on there. It looks beautiful. I do like it. All right. Okay. Let's just see what happens though. If I change my, let's actually change, not the little width. Let's change the length back to men's size. 11.25. Enter. Let's change the width to 4.25 for the men's size. And let's take a look at our logo. How did we do with those? Oh, it actually looks pretty similar, doesn't it? Looks pretty similar, which is really nice. It actually grew the size of the box. That's cool. I think it grew the size of the circle with the growing of the shoe. That's what we want, all right? That's parametric. That's what we're looking to do. Okay. I'll pick you up with some more in a little bit, but ring that bell, smash that button, all that fun stuff you kids do. All right.